Manchester United win at Anfield for the first time in nearly 10 years as United win 2-1 against our bitter rivals. Let's break down this huge win for Amorim's men. Sir Amorim gets his first back-to-back victory in the EPL. Almost been here a year. Can't believe it. Just shy a couple of weeks from his one-year anniversary. Manchester United needed a win, needed a big result. Actually, I think it's more important the result after this, but we got a big victory against Liverpool. We got some luck. Of course, they hit the post a couple times. I don't know if that third one counts when it kind of glanced. But United went out there. They fought for the badge. I thought Lamemens was steady Eddie. Embomo with a big early goal. Ahmad had a great game. I thought the subs came in. He managed the game well, I would say, Ruben Amorim. He made some subs around the 60th minute for the lads that were on yellow cards. I thought that was very smart. Ref was looking for a reason to send people off. But we get a victory at Anfield. It quiets things down, certainly for now. Can United turn this into a run? We've got some hard games coming. Brighton have had our number. How are we feeling? How are we doing?
You need the hope, and I think winning away at Anfield, it can't be understated how big of a win this is. I'm usually one to maybe look at the XG or, is there really something there? This is a gigantic win for Manchester United. It has to do with Anfield, a.k.a. the shitbox. If you listen to the pod, that's the nickname.
Favorite name.
I called it. I said 2-1.
You did.
If you look at this lineup, you're like Slabaslu, like who? Like these guys, like Kirkes, like is he really that good? Van Dijk, we've seen those like Marshmallow and Net. Like this team, you spend 500 million, and they're looking pretty soft. And we went into their fortress and just bodied them. Look, they had a lot of chances. We packed it in, but Amorim got the tactics right. He just absolutely dominated Arne Slot, and that's what it's about. It's about coming up with a good game plan from the manager. They went at Kirkes with Ahmad and Embomo. There's also the front three were switching the entire game. I thought Mount did really well, and then that finding Ahmad in space 1v1 really messed with them. And we defended soundly. United did well. Also, shout out Lamemens and Net. I think that's a big catalyst for United. We're a team on the rise. It feels to me Liverpool might be a team on the decline, throwing money at the problem with those big signings that haven't come good. And look at them. They were there for the taking. We win. I predicted the win because I kind of felt like they're on the down. And United, we have quality players in attack, smash and grab, get the dub. And, what a victory. What a win. This is probably the biggest win since we probably lifted a trophy under Eric Ten Hag as a Manchester United fan. Winning away to Anfield, bank it.
It's no easy task, right? It hasn't happened since almost 10 years, since Wayne Rooney won 1-0 against the Scouse Bastards under Louis van Gaal, and it's a huge win. And now it's about catalyzing the moment and turning it into a bit of momentum for this team. This team has lacked momentum. We have not been able to get ahead of steam since he's been appointed. Like you said, this is his first time he's winning back-to-back games in the EPL, which is absurd that it took this long in the first place. But this is as hard of a game as there comes. Basically winning in Liverpool is something that just happens so frequently. So we need to grab the moment. And I think the big thing is we made our luck, but we went in and gave ourselves a chance to win this game because the Embomo goal is huge. Taking your chance in the 65th second of the game is massive because it puts them on their heels, and it totally changed the game. We were in it very much that first half. Laid off a little bit in the second half, let them into the game. I thought our midfield got cut through a couple times way too easily. That's when their big chances came. But the post...
Yeah, but they had Gapco, who I literally just insulted.
He could have had a hat trick.
I said the preview. I said Gapco's not a player. He's not a player. We saw him live.
He did score.
I know, but we saw him live.
He looked better than Salah. I mean, to be fair.
He's slow. He's not an EPL winger. I mean, to be honest, it's good that they're putting him out there. It's good they spend $500 million and Gapco's a starter on their team.
How about Wirtz?
Have a laugh. But we finally broke the Wout Weghorst curse when he hit the sign at Anfield. Do you remember that? Wout Weghorst touched the sign at Anfield. As a Manchester United player, that had to be the low. I feel like we're back, sir. Let's get into this game proper. Let's break it down. It is Manchester United versus Liverpool. We won 2-1 at Anfield.
Let's go.
Come on. Harry Maguire with the dunk header for the win. It's what we needed. Let's get into that starting 11. We had Sen Lamemens in net, Luke Shaw, Harry Maguire, Delit back three. A little nervy. Delo, left wing back, Bruno Cass midfield, Diallo on the right, and Embomo, Cunha, Mount, front three, Sesko dropped, Magoo back in, people having meltdowns before the game. Sir, how are you feeling about this 11?
There's some things I like, some things I didn't like. I did at first, wondering where Šeško went, but I think the fact is the pressing that those three offer was the move. I think it was impactful. I think it was a big contributor in why we were successful today. So that was something I could get behind. I don't like the Delo left wing back. I don't like that at all. I think Dogu's a much better player. I think Delo made mistakes today. And then I don't really see the justification dropping Euro. I think he's been a consistent player in that back three, but this is what he went for. Sir, what were your thoughts? Not huge amounts of surprises. Maybe Šeško being the big one.
Why he dropped him is because Diallo, you need a little more meat in the back three,
fair.
right? So the Delit Maguire going to give you more cover if you're going to put Ahmad up and give him some freedom. I think that's the adjustment he made. That's the big one for me. The question mark going to Anfield, it's sort of we need to pack it in. And going with Diallo was aggressive, but he saw the vulnerability. Our manager saw the vulnerability with Kirkes and the Van Dijk pairing, and it looked nervy, and we went at him early with Embomo and Diallo, and it worked. So credit to Ruben Amorim, probably the best day the manager has had on a touchline for Manchester United. He deserves quite a bit of credit because this 11 won the day, and they played hard for the manager, and we've been looking for something like this. This was a performance. It was a team performance. It was a rivalry, stepping up, wearing the badge, going away at a rival, and putting in a serious shift and getting 3 points. It was full of grit and spitzer. That's what Manchester United is all about. And I'm just, as a fan, there's something more intangible about, the XG merchants with this win. This is a team win. This is something you can build on. This is something you can believe in. And this 11 did it. So, hats off to him.
No, I think tactically he nailed it from the jump. He also thought that the subs were really smart. Getting those players off of yellow cards that probably shouldn't even have been on yellow cards in the first place was smart. And once again, another reason it's a great victory, sir, is we conceded late and we fought back and got the winner instead of hanging our heads and losing all points and getting nothing away from Anfield. Let's get into that game. Let's get into that first half. United came out of the gates hot. Our new man, Brian Embomo, with a impactful start within 65 seconds at Anfield. Let's go.
Fernandes. Alexis McAllister down on the deck for Liverpool. Amad Diallo, Brian Embomo! What a start! 1 minute on the clock. Manchester United in front at the home of their bitter rivals.
Come on, United! What a goal!
The champions.
What a goal. Bruno Fernandes kind of keeps things moving. There's a collision because Van Dijk hits his own player in the head. This will be a controversy this week on Sky Sports. Guarantee it because it went against Liverpool, their excuse factory over there. And they turned it very, very quickly. Getting behind. Great ball in from Ahmad to Embomo. He gets a little bit of a nice finish with a touch as well on the goalkeeper, but it's a great goal from Embomo. He's been, very impactful signing this summer. I think all the signings are really kind of finding their form, especially the last 20 minutes with Cunha, but that's what you got to do. Moments like that, early chances, taking these chances totally changed the game because the first half they had a couple sniffs at it, but I think this really kind of rocked them off kind of their equilibrium because they look shook. They did not expect to concede in the first couple minutes.
No, and it quieted the fans at Anfield, which was huge. It was a big hit from Manchester United and Embomo. Shout out to him. Next opportunity, 21st minute, United get cut out. I was waiting for the midfield to be vulnerable. This was sort of a back and forth. Salah, great pass to Gapco. He hits the post. Lamemens, heart attack city. Looked great, by the way. He did amazing in this game. I think we have our new number one. 24th minute, going the other way. Great chance for Bruno after the break. He should have hit the target, but he grazed the outside of the post here. I thought this was another interchange on the right wing where we were just dominating that Kirkes-Van Dijk combo, and then Bruno gets it on a plate. Has to finish this, score. In my opinion. He has to finish this one. Thankfully, we didn't need it, but you could have made our lives a little easier there.
No, this is the one that you really worry about. It was a nice switch of play, like you said. Everything that we were doing that was exciting probably in that first 60 minutes was involving Amad Diallo and Brian Embomo, and they were really, like you said, you just nailed it. They were targeting Kirkes, and he had a bad first half. He got exposed on a number of times, and that was a huge part of our attack, sir. They did have chances, like you said, that midfield, Manchester United's midfield was vulnerable at times. They were having, a lot of productivity with kind of those direct north-south balls that just seemed to cut through us every time. 30th minute, there was a looping cross that grazed the posts before kind of a haphazard clearance from Manchester United in the 30th minute, and Lamemens with a really nice save in the 35th minute against Isak. Foot save and a beaut, David De Gea-esque, and that kind of closed out the first half.
Well, hold on, the Lamemens save NBC kind of
what'd they say?
they clowned him and said, "Oh, that was a lucky save, and he should have come out more." Like the NBC, like we got to get on this.
Bro, I listen in Spanish. I can't listen to those clowns.
So yeah, we used to get on Arlo White. Arlo,
He's
by
gone.
the way,
He's gone.
famously, Arlo White and us went back and forth on Twitter, and I was saying he was like at the B team. He got really upset. Then he got fired by NBC. LOL.
I have no idea. I think he's a guitar. I think he's in the Middle East.
I think he's still announcing Ted Lasso games. If I'm Arlo White, where are you at? Okay, now the new crew is in there, and then they're like basically they called this a lucky save from Lamemens. Insane. This is a youngster.
They said that.
He basically he didn't play the angle, which I agree. But you make a kick save. It didn't like hit him in the face. This is a great save from Lamemens. Stand tall.
Saved it.
This is huge. Keeping it clean sheet and a half. Come on, NBC LFC. Sick of them. And they all don't like United, including Tim Howard, who played United, who we basically booted out the door. But regardless, there's a lot of United hate out there. And now the Athletics coming for United, right? We got a lot of Athletic.
That's new. That's new.
This is like clickbait Athletic content.
That's sad,
saying
actually.
Sesko is the worst signing. Like, give me a break. Like, the people coming at United from all angles, sir, hated it or never ignored. Just had to get that in there. Let's get in the second half.
I mean, you never have any better idea of kind of the imbalances after one of these games, before one of these games, I'm making excuses for our worst. We're going on a tangent, but there's so much bias in the English media around like certain clubs, anti-United. You know what? Like you said, hated the door, never ignored. United kind of, I don't want to say checked out, but they were more open. I think Liverpool came out hot in that second half looking to get a goal, and United, we stood firm, but there were some moments in the 50th minute, Gakpo hit the post again, not his day for the Dutchman. And this is the subs. I thought Ruben Amorim nailed it from a sub perspective because Ugarte and Ndogu came on for Casemiro and Ahmad, who were both on yellows, one of which was an absurd yellow. Like Ahmad got fouled. He gave a yellow. What do you expect from the refs? And then, of course, Šeško, which I liked, got a run out in the 61st minute. He came on for Mount. That was great because Mount was good. He was pressing hard. He was blasting his legs, but you also don't risk him because he's been such an impactful player. He's had injury issues. You pull him after an hour. Love that. And then a really, really big chance. Another one for Liverpool in the 65th minute. Chance for Salah, blasted wide under pressure from Lamemens. I don't know if they were giving him credit for that one, but he did come out well. Salah last year probably scores this goal. But anyway, 78th minute. Scousers got back in the game. Let's hear it.
Wirtz, Ekitike, Florian Wirtz again, Chiesa, and Gakpo turns it in. Manchester United stand and appeal for offside. Liverpool are level.
It can't miss from there, Wout Weghorst couldn't miss from there, sir. That's all I got to say.
I mean, this is a player that a different day could have had. John certainly doesn't rate him.
We're defending deep. That's the one thing about United that you can say here. Is as the game
clearance.
went on,
We should have been able to clear this.
We did struggle clearing it,
We
even
did.
towards the end of the game, and we didn't really have that outlet. So you would like, as a team who's up by a goal, playing elite opposition, to be able to be compact and have that threat on the break. We didn't really have that. Kind of let it in some more pressure, but we had a strong will. I would say like there wasn't the folding of United pass, but you would just like to have that outlet. Sesko was apparently supposed to be that, but we didn't see that really link up in that way.
It's a good point. Cunha was it a couple times. He had some nice turns on the ball, but they were doing well in the air. Like anytime there was a 50-50, we were going long with the ball quite a bit with Lamemens. I thought his feet looked good. He made a couple of good passes, but a lot of the times it's going to Van Dijk and he's hard to beat in the air with that size we have. So anyway, United, this is the moment, the big moment where Manchester United, of course, go ahead in the 84th minute, but they didn't crumble under the pressure, sir, at Anfield. They fought back. Let's go. Who is it? Harry Maguire. Come on, baby, slabhead.
Yes, to be fair. It's Embomo. Redelivered by Bruno Fernandes. Harry Maguire! It's taken 5 minutes for Manchester United to restore their precious lead.
Yeah.
Was he in just for set pieces? Well, this is your answer. What a ball from Fernandes. That is pure quality. To hit a ball in like that so accurately.
First time.
Brilliant. And that's brilliant as well.
Hey, that's what he's there for. Late in the game in the box, he's dangerous, set piece. Harry Maguire, difference maker, stand tall. What a goal. What a goal for Manchester United. 2-1. Sir, 2-1 at Anfield. Come on, let's go.
Current captain, former captain, Harry Maguire does so well. Bounces the ball, keeps it down, huge goal. And Bruno Fernandes' first-time cross is huge because Liverpool cannot get settled. He's there at the back post, and United get their goal. And it's a massive goal, sir, as big as they come. So what a goal.
It makes you believe, sir. You know, and
wanna believe.
And Gapgo like gets a header on a plate, like should equalize. By the way, this is not good either for United. We won't remember it. We won't talk about it. But he had like on a plate, like that should be a goal. 0.8 xG, like just dusts it like that. You love to see that as a United fan. Keep that guy. You need to spend another 100 million for another one, like Ekatike and Isak doesn't look like you buy soft players for a lot of money. They got nothing. You know, they're not dogs.
What do you think it works?
Not dog. Like you spend money, you have to buy dogs. Like that's what it's about. Honestly, that's what it's about. And they like Isak softy, like Wirtz softy. It's like it's too much. And Liverpool isn't a team that spends big money. When you try to be that way, you're going to get found out. And you know what? United, all you need to do is look at Manchester United to know that you shouldn't spend £120 million on a player. And you know what? We shouldn't spend $100 million plus on Baleba either. You shouldn't do it because this season he sucks. Like there's just a reason why you don't do these deals. It's like you're better off.
You buy Brighton and Embomo.
Like the most money is to buy Brighton and Embomo for that or Šeško. These are good deals. They're valued right. Like even thinking about like Garnacho was sold for like what would be an attractive valuation, $40 million for a prospect. Might come good, might not, but it's not. You buy Isak for 140, you're fucked. You're fucked. And it's like, and I hope this is the downfall of the Scouse bastards because, man, we've been on the other side of it for way too long. Everybody laughing in our face. And I love that 4 games in a row. So much poetry. Chef's kiss, sir. Chef's kiss. Love it.
Well, sometimes when you have too much budget to spend and they knew they were going to go big this summer, you just find bad ways to spend it. And this summer, United, I think, actually learned from their mistakes, bought domestically, bought EPL-proven talent at fair prices. I thought Cunha had a really great last 20 minutes.
Where'd the 8 minutes come from, by the way?
I told you. I told you. It's
so my French,
talk about the
like,
bias.
Where the
You
fuck
talk
did
about
those 8 minutes come from?
That is
like, you know,
everything wrong with the EPL. Because
and by the way, when they get it, they're all referee. They're all referee, right? You know, you saw that with the handball. All referee. They're all referee.
Oh, of course.
It's like, come on, this isn't Spain.
Soft,
this
baby.
is England.
Let's look at the table.
Earn it.
Look at the table, sir.
Earn it. Let's get into the stats here. 19 shots the Scouse Bastards had to our 12, 6 on target to our 4, 64% of the ball to our 36. Smash and grab.
Let's go.
They cooked us on XG. It doesn't matter.
Was close.
It was a team. It depended on who you get. The XG philosophy had 3.
They had 3 to what?
3 to 1.
3 to 1. Wow.
Yeah.
So Mark's stats much tighter. We'll get into that in a second. Go to the table real quick, sir. Just take a gander if you don't mind. If you could just scroll down. United at 13 points, 9th place, tied with basically Palace, but they're ahead of us.
This guy bragging about 9th.
I want to keep an eye on him. I'm just curious. Liverpool 2 points ahead of us.
The only number that really matters is goal difference. As long as it's negative,
-1.
You can't get excited. Like,
that's a good roll.
That's
a good roll. That's
unless
a good,
it's
Liverpool's only +3, by the way. Arsenal back at the top, but United in a fighting position. But the next game is a tough game in the same way that we said the Brentford game would tell us so much about this side. Brighton at home. We'll get into it in a bit, so we'll talk to Mark Set in a second. But it's the game after the game. Like we know this team can get up for a big game. We know they can get up against a rival. Brighton,
not really. Anfield, and sort of for
different.
fans who have started following Manchester United recently, which if you have, good for you because you're back in the right club at the right time because we will be back. For me, it's been 20 plus years, and now this is the low. But winning at Anfield is almost a trophy in and of itself. Like it really is. Like as a historian of this club and the rivalries that we have and the great history of Manchester United, there is no joke about winning at Anfield. That is getting one on the biggest rival, and they love that stadium, that shithole. They love singing that stupid song to start the game. They think it's a big deal. They get all
they go quiet. They went quiet right after.
It's not a great point. It's like it's not nice up there. You don't want to go there, and it's hard. And they're proud of it, and they're proud of it. They don't got a lot to be proud of, but they're proud of that. And when you stomp them in their house, that is straight up, for these Manchester United players, that is a big deal. Like winning at the Empty Head, nobody cares. Done it plenty of times.
That's true.
It's not hard. Anfield is no joke. To me, that is like, you can say, would you rather win at Anfield or win the EFL Cup? And it's like a toss-up, at the end of the day. Now with the European football and the money, but like, if you're really thinking about it, it is a huge, huge deal. So I'm trying to like make sure fans understand how big of a win it is to win there. We celebrate draws there. Like under Eric Ten Hag, we're like a big draw away.
And it was a big draw. It was.
To win there is such a huge deal. It could turn around this entire thing. A manager, neck on the guillotine, odds on to get sacked. LOL, Ange got sacked. He's probably still next. Like, I don't know where we have to.
He's still next man up. He's still next man up. Maybe like, the Wolves manager.
We're talking like Ten Hag back against the wall, beat the Scousers at home, right? And like Amorim back against the wall. Hopefully, this leads to us coming out swinging against Brighton. But this should give the lads that type of confidence if they understand the history and the significance of it. Huge win for Manchester United. Can't be understated.
No, that's a great point to make. It's the hardest away scalp to pick up in English football. Our biggest rival, of course, but a place we haven't had a good record. And, it is a difficult place to play. They get calls. I think they got some calls, but they were minimized today because United fought for 90 minutes plus the 8 minutes extra time. I forgot about that. That was madness, but not unexpected.
If you can win there, you can get top 4. If you can win there, you can like
you play like that. You play like that. I mean, Lamemens. We'll get into it in a little bit, but like, it's a massive performance. It's a massive result. We'll talk about Mark's stat right now, sir. Pretty even. They edged us. I think it was arguably like a draw would have been a fair result, but it was a smash and grab proper.
So on Mark's stats, 2.8 xG to R2.67. This is when you get in the field tilt 71%. Like they had, they had control of the game
for sure.
We were definitely defending deep. It doesn't matter. Like I said, this is a team performance. This is a team win. United did amazing. You don't even need to look at the stat sheet this time because this team showed heart and they were fighting for the badge. But sir, let's check in with the manager. Let's see what he has to say about the match.
Performance in terms of United's performances or wins since you've been there?
I think we start really well. I think we had a great spirit during the game. I think we didn't play well with the ball, just certain moments. We create chances. We suffer some chances also. We lost a little bit the composure in the second half. We managed well when we suffered the goal. We managed that moment well, and that is a key point for our team. So I think it was a great win. Not a very well-played game from our part, but a great spirit, and that is the only thing I can ask. Fred?
People talk about a lot about players that leave United and start to play on. And Harry Maguire is probably a very rare case of someone that stayed, went through everything, and now he has moments like these. How do you see him as a leader?
Yeah, it's really important, and I think I already spoke about that. We have a club that has a lot of pressure, and it's not easy to play here. But all of them had the opportunity to play for us, and then they leave, and sometimes in life is like that. Harry Maguire, it's really important for us. It was really important for us today. He's a great example on that. Everything that he been through, it's a good example for every kid. And now he has to recover to be ready for Brighton.
Hey. Great presser from the manager. I think he got it right. So when he's sitting in the seat, obviously after a win, it's easier. But him being frank and honest that on the ball, we weren't the best. And it wasn't the best technical display from United, but we showed the heart. And the moment where we didn't let it go after conceding is huge. And Amorim needs more of this and he needs less temper tantrums. This is sort of this team needs to get better, but this manager needs to get better in this moment as a presser. But you can see the authenticity he has really comes through and does well in this type of spot. But post Grimsby, post Brentford, there's some times where his emotion gets the best of him. He needs to get that under control because he's saying everything you want to hear right now.
And these are the best pressers he gives, unfortunately. They do come after a victory, but he's clear-eyed. I mean, that assessment of that game, I think, is done better than you or I could do. He nailed it. He's they showed a lot of heart. Wasn't the best performance, but we got a result. In the moments, even says that. The passing wasn't that good, but in certain moments, we unlocked it. And We just need to see a little bit less of kind of that high-low volatility, both from this side and from this manager. Don't put additional pressure on the side. Same way with how we perform. So that's exactly what we want to see from Ruben Amorim. Let's build on this, sir. Let's build on this.
All right, give me the last word. Give me the good of this match, sir.
So my good is, the boys fought for a huge win. They showed resiliency, and they did take their chances. I thought it was massive. Embomo getting on the charts early. Maguire making the most of his, and then bouncing back within 6-7 minutes of them scoring at home when they had the crowd on their side. That is not anything we've seen out of this side, especially away, that soon after conceding. So that's massive for them. I thought it was another great game for Brian Embomo, Ahmad, and Bruno. And then Šeško, Mount, and Cunha also had a really positive impact. I think you can really say that the summer signings have been an absolute hit thus far. Cunha probably been the one that hasn't blown the doors off, but he's showing so much promise and so much potential as a future Manchester United player. I thought the impact he had in the last 20 minutes took the pressure. He was the one outlet we seem to have, and he's a dog. They're both dogs. And Mbumo's a dog.
By the way, Mount looks like a new signing.
He does.
He's finally getting game time, knock on wood, but he looks like a new signing, and he's an elite player when he's healthy, and that is such a huge thing to overcome. He has the best abilities availability, and hopefully Mount stays available because we have options now.
And he works great with his system. And the other two players that he played alongside today in terms of the press, I thought what he offered for the first hour was great. And last but not least was Lamemens stood tall, another solid performance, and a couple big saves, especially that lucky one. I thought it was a great. I really thought it was like a David.
It was lucky. It was it doesn't make any sense.
He was also calm. He's just calming. You could see that it makes the center backs more at ease, and they get behind them. And he also has that personality that you need to be a Manchester United goalkeeper. So
2 games in, you can already tell he can handle it.
Oh,
by the way, you knew
we lose the game today,
but we sticked with him. It's I just feel
right.
We just got to move on faster.
But Bayendier or Onana play today, bro. We do not get. Maybe we get a point, and probably not.
No, goalie Lamemens has been amazing, and I just really I think that's probably an underrated point that you make, is that the goalie is kind of these big saves and the calm presence is just,
and the claims, bro. The claims.
Yeah, it goes unsold. It goes completely unsold, and we haven't talked about goalkeeping errors here, which is crazy. Another good I'm going to add is the attacking chemistry. The chem I saw from just Ahmad. We're starting to see Ahmad and Embomo. Starting to see that go. Then if you actually watched it, you had Mount go to a 9. You had Cunha. They were switching all the time. I also felt like there was good link-up play, some crisp passing in moments, like Amorim said, and that's finally starting to build. So I feel like these new players need to settle. The chemistry is getting there in attack. Mbumo's a dog, great finish. So I just really excited about the attacking chemistry, understanding the system. I think is something we need to see it continue to progress, especially against the Brightons of the world. The bad. We saw Liverpool cut us open. We saw a bunch of chipped balls. By the way, that Gapco header at the end of the game when we were up 2-1, they were snoozing defending.
Totally.
By the way, we had
ball
four
watching again.
We had 4 defenders in the box.
We had numbers.
Gapco unmarked, open, clear header, and he missed it. Right, if he hits that, it's completely the other way. So for how many defenders we have in the box, there's some things we got away with today, and that's just something we have to be concerned about. And like you mentioned, to the big chances off the post. So, I'm not going to dwell on the bad today. It's all good for United. You win away at Anfield. There's no bad. There's no stat you can show me. There's nothing. It's you got to celebrate it. This team needs to build on it. It's a big deal. I think we're going to see a sustained jump from this win because it is a no-joke place to win, sir. But let's get into the next match. Heart Attack City, Brighton. Sir, what a game. We are going to be playing Brighton. It is at home, Saturday, October 25th, 9:30 a.m. Pacific, 12:30 p.m. Eastern. You can watch it on Peacock, sir. Give me the weather versus Brighton. What do we got?
It is officially turning to late fall in England. It's going to be high 40s, chance of rain in Manchester for this big grudge match against Brighton, sir. Boogeyman. The Boogeyman in Brighton. Let's talk about the Seagulls. Get into their profile. You and I have been down there, been to the Amex Stadium, formerly the Amex, now called the Falmer Stadium. Tell us a little bit more about the Seagulls. We've been down there. It's wet.
Founded in 1901, majority owned by Tony Bloom, an entrepreneur, data-driven bettor, sir. He likes to take a wager or two. Rapid rise from League One. We saw them play Queen's Park Rangers in the championship on their way up. Great to catch a championship game in London. QPR place where Rio Ferdinand ended up retiring. It's a great place for a match. They have a reputation for analytics-led recruitment. They've done well under Fabian Hürzeler. They do well. We wanted a Baleba. They gave us the middle finger. We had the director of football in Ashworth for a moment. They haven't really accomplished too much in the Premier League. They did finish 8th last season, but they are a great place. They acquire players. They sell them for big money. It's a great business model. They have something right going on at Brighton and Hove Albion, and so United should be hiring some more front office talent from there.
You know, Chelsea did that model of basically just pluck players from their front office or their, team members from their front office or players from their squad. That seems to be the way to do it. They are probably like they at least historically the last 10 years, probably the best run club pound for pound in the EPL. And what they said the other day was now with Palace winning the FA Cup, they're probably like the biggest club that hasn't won a piece of silverware ever, along with Fulham.
No, it's a great team. Love the logo. Another Nike club in the EPL if you track that type of stuff. But, amazing stadium. Like you said, we went down there. It was great. Great place to grab an ale. Sir, dark ales down by the sea. So let's get into the coaching profile.
Fabian Hürzeler, 32-year-old German coach. He is the youngest coach in Premier League history, ex-St. Pauli promotion winner. He was appointed in 24 last summer to evolve their positional play while staying pathway for youth development. They had a lot of turnover. Obviously, they sold Caicedo and Enzo to Chelsea. They bought a shit ton of players last summer, a little bit less this summer, so they're focused on...
McAllister, I think, is the one you're thinking about.
McAllister as well, excuse me, you're right. And let's get into the tactics. He likes to play a 4-3-3 or 4-2-3-1 and morph within games, and he can often flatten to a 4-4-2 to protect the central lanes. In his build-up, he likes to toggle between a back two and a back three with a midfielder dropping to create a pivot. And he's very, very focused on verticality through third-man runs and quick diagonals, and they're big on the cutbacks. We've seen that. We've been bit by the cutback by Brighton before, including last season against Hürzeler. Hürzeler, is that how you say it?
Fabian Hürzeler.
And they're big on the aggressive counter presses on turnovers, so they'll be pressing us high. They'll be attacking us directly, and they're a very, very dangerous team, and they have a ridiculous record. So the record against us, especially the last 5, you'll get into it in a second, is like worse than it is even in Liverpool. So
lost 4, 1-1 versus Brighton in the last 5, sir. But lifetime, we've won 21, drawn 5, lost 9. But you look at that; that is atrocious. Even if you go back farther, they have our number.
We've lost 6 of the last 8 against Brighton, and we haven't beat them at home in 3 years. So they are a boogeyman, and they won on the weekend, and they're a solid team. And I'm a little nervous, especially coming off a big win, because you've seen the come down with these bluffers before, sir.
Let's get into their summer signings.
They had a bit of a muted summer. They sell, they're more active on the sell side. They sell Joe Pedro to Chelsea in a pretty big money deal. They actually, made money this summer. The biggest one was Kostelausis, which is the young 18-year-old Greek center back.
Center forward. Striker.
Excuse me, center forward. But a lot of youngsters. Highest age was 24. Once again, building for the future for all their paid transfers. And someone to watch, of course, is a player we know, Danny Welbeck, who scored a brace on the weekend. The United Academy player who was apparently a target for Ruben Amorim.
This summer.
As a backup, as a veteran striker to take the pressure off Benjamin Šeško, like you and I asked for. Jim, no resale value, Jim. Don't like that deal, but he already has, I believe, 4 goals in his 8 games in the EPL this season. So Danny Welbeck is just probably a player we shouldn't have got rid of.
Hey, last 5 for Brighton. Look, they're still in the EFL Cup. Who would have thought 6-0? They beat Barnsley.
6-0.
They beat Chelsea 3-1. We did beat Chelsea as well. But they drew Wolves, which is a good sign for us. They beat Hassocks in the Sussex Senior Cup. I have no idea what that is. And they just beat Newcastle 2-1.
They did. And they looked good.
You're looking at, 4 wins, 1 draw, coming in hot. You have to be looking to September when they faltered versus Bournemouth, drew Tottenham, who isn't doing too well. But they're coming to Old Trafford. It is our house. This is the game. These are the spots you're looking for. Big rival. We got up for it. Hey, Anfield, it's even higher than that, But this isn't the normal, let-off spot. For me, this is must-win. Everything's a must-win for Manchester United, but this team needs to just get away with the inconsistent bullshit and just show up and be Manchester United. You got to remind yourself what club you're playing for, and United needs to stomp Brighton, and then your marching up the table, and then the Amorim hot seat, it doesn't exist after this game. It's over. Like, this is the turnaround. This is we're building something. This is European football in sight. This is Sir Jim go again in January. This is all those things right here. Like this game, you beat Brighton. Like we're back on the train. The train took some shot. The train took some what thought fatal wounds, but it's still chugging.
Still running,
like,
dude.
It's like this is kind of like Masters of the Air. I've seen that series on Apple TV. It's like they're landing that plane with they're throwing things they're throwing the equipment out of the plane. They're barely making it. Like that's where we are right now, and we got to beat Brighton. So we got to beat Brighton, land this plane, and stabilize the ship. United need to be stable. There's been too much. This start to the season has been calamitous. It's been the players have invited the pressure. The manager's been inviting the pressure. We need results to just comma. Let the smoke settle, and then we can find the team, find the best 11. I just feel like we haven't even had a chance to do it. This is back against the wall stuff. Need a result at home, Brighton. No excuses, dude. We cannot wet noodle this shit. We can't go back to wet noodle land. We can't do it.
I mean, it took us almost a year to get back-to-back EPL wins. We now need to build on that. The fact that it's been so horrible under his tenure is because we haven't won back-to-back. So there's a win, a loss. It was so much negativity. So you need a chance, like you said, to keep things steady by having there be less noise and less volatility of the club. And also, you cannot allow this home record to stand against Brighton. This is not City. This is not Liverpool. You can't have fucking seagulls being plucky and you've only won 2 of the last 8
Danny
against
Welbeck.
them. Yeah, they turned over their squad. They turn it over every year. You have to be able to get in results, especially when you have momentum coming from the Scouts victory. You're playing at home. We have good players that can score goals in this team. We have to go take our chances and not let them get into this game because this is a dangerous side, and this is a dangerous side they can get back into games late, and they've shown that this season.
Well, look at this 11 versus Newcastle. And they're doing well, but who do you got? Honestly, Brighton, Welbeck.
Yari solid.
Baleba,
we know Baleba, of course.
He's a veteran at this point, but I mean, honestly, United. It's not about Brighton. It's about United. It's about the system. Who is Ruben Amorim going to run it back with? For me, you look at Lamemens in net, Shaw, Maguire, De Ligt, Dalot, Bruno, Cass, Diallo, Embomo, Mount, Cunha. You won at Anfield. This 11 goes again at
Same
home.
one.
You change nothing. You cannot change. This team needs something. You need a starting 11. You need to win games. Then you rotate from there. You got to play this team. You start throwing Euro in there. You start putting Dogu in.
No Sheshko.
You win, you play.
I like
that has to be
I like that
way.
because you only have a game a week too. It doesn't like we have to rest legs.
No, this is
I can't argue against that. I don't want to. I think Dalot is not best suited to be a left wing back, especially with Shaw there.
It's about dogs. It's about a team. This team won. They will win if you play them. If he tinker, managers who tinker too much, he can't tinker from here. You can't tinker. What else do you need?
I can make changes. I would.
Diallo at right wing back, you're set up for attack. You have to this is an aggressive 11. You have to go again with this 11.
Dude, I'm in. I'm not arguing. I can't. You convinced me. I'm convinced.
Not go
I'm all in,
if
baby.
He starts. You can't change it. You got to say, hey guys, we need a manager. It's like batting down the hatches. We need results. If this 11 gets you results in the same manner that it did at Anfield, if you
It's
win
good
at
enough for Anfield.
you got to run it back.
I like it.
You have to run it back. Please run it back, Aaron. Please. Okay, here we go.
Odds. Manchester United are the favorites. This would make me nervous. If I was a betting man, which I can be, depending on where I'm sitting at the time. United plus 100 at home, plus 270 for the draw, plus 240 away. Like I said, maybe before this game, I was definitely thinking, well, those were good odds. But this is a tough game and a tough team that we've had a lot of trouble with historically. But I think United, if they're going to turn the corner, this is it. This is the game that we have to be winning. Sir, what do the fans think? What's the American Devil community thinking?
Get over to MUFCpredict.com. Sign up for our match prediction game. 23 fans have their predictions in, and it is a 52% win for Manchester United, 30% draw, 17% loss. Average goal says 1.7 goals to Brighton's 1.3. It is a Manchester United win, according to our fans, sir. You have to check out the leaderboard because that 2-1 win.
This guy's nailing it.
That 2-1 win versus Anfield.
Who's bummed 68? Keep it on your heels. I like that.
I think
not me. I'll
I
say
think
that.
he's listening and copying my predictions. That's what I think.
Did he get the 2-1?
I must have. Hey, people need to understand.
Copying my predictions. That's great. He's good at it.
No one predicted the I think it was 90% loss for United.
It's not popular.
I predicted
How's
the
Alex
win.
doing? Alex is with the
not only
gutter.
did I predict the win, I predicted 2-1.
Nailed it.
Sir, that's why I made this website, so I could win the game. That's the whole point of this. If you want to
It's
come
like a
for the
tweet
crown,
how well I'm doing.
if you want to come for the crown, MUFCpredict.com. Have fun, predict the games. It's a great
It is
community
great.
engagement. Alex,
6 points.
He's
Not doing
predicted
great.
2 games,
I'm due.
right?
I'm due.
I'm headed like it looks
due.
like a
See ya.
runaway steak dinner. I haven't even been paid for the first steak dinner
Let's
for all
go.
those keeping track.
Let's
Yeah,
go.
all right, sir. Give me the.
Oh, you're up first.
I'm up first.
You're up
I'm going to
first.
say it's going to be Manchester United 3, Brighton 1. Problem solved. We're back, baby. Let's go.
Yeah, I got to go 2-1. Manchester United. Let's go. I can see 1-1. I can see a draw, pissing people off.
No,
but
we got
right
right
to the
now
corner.
is the breakthrough.
You got to turn the corner. Come
This
on.
is the breakthrough moment for
Brighton.
Manchester
I just
United,
frightened them.
you know.
They've had our number, sir. Let's get into some news. What's going on in the world?
Sir, give it to us.
Manchester United are hearing takeover rumors these days, sir, and apparently Eric Cantona has been approached by the UAE organization that we have been speaking about that is interested in maybe making a move for a full buyout of United. We've also been hearing that a couple other players, David Beckham, is being kind of, sought out to be one of the front men or front individuals for this buyout cause. I never understood the idea of a front man. It's like, if your money's good enough, shouldn't that be a big part of it? But I can understand. They know that it's going to be unpopular for a sovereign-related entity to buy Manchester United, of course, for a lot of fans. So I think
A
they're
front
thinking
man is sort of somebody
it
who
softens the blow.
comes in as, as an ambassador to represent the acquisition group in a good light, right? Because if they have a David Beckham sitting in the owner's box with them,
Right.
fans are going to have a positive view. If you look at Newcastle, not so much, and there have been mixed feelings about that. So I feel like it's also communication, where if that person could sort of be communicating with the fans about the ownership's interest, that could be positive. But the rumors are that Eric Cantona is among a few figures that have been approached about becoming an ambassador for the UAE Investment Consortium. So it went from Saudi Arabia to the UAE, and then we actually got a specific holding company from Ben Jacobs, who's legit, says within the UAE, one company in particular is involved in the talks about Manchester United. It's the International Holding Company. They have been part of the talks to put together a prospective UAE-based consortium. So it'd be UAE-focused. This this international holding company has over $200 billion to speak of. It seems like it's going to be a consortium among multiple companies, and then they would put sort of United ambassadors regardless. This is heating up. I mean, it looks like it's real, and the one thing we will say about M&A is lots of people talk about deals. Not a lot of people do the deals. So it's totally normal in M&A for people to be discussing or trying to put together consortiums, but if they don't come together, they don't come together. And if nothing materializes, nothing materializes. But someone in the UAE is currently exploring putting together a consortium with United Legends to buy Manchester United. And I would, as a fan, ultimately, it sucks to be in the place that we are, where the club needs so much money to get out of this hole that we're in. We've been put in by the Glazers, and Sir Jim is, the majority of his funds went to the Glazers, and it didn't go into the club, and the club is dying for $2 or $3 billion to build a new stadium and get us even on transfers. Like, this club needs to be unburdened, and if this consortium can do that, I think it's a positive step forward, because Manchester United, their turnover over $600 million, you can spend so much money if you're not saddled with debt. And so we kind of just need to get the shackles off here so that we can go in the transfer market and just really just start dominating European football and build like a world-class 11. Because right now we cannot do that, PSR, et cetera. So I'm all for this.
Yeah, and you and I are taking a sober look at the finances and also know the state of the club. We've been in love with this club for over 20 years. We've seen how it's kind of been left to rot in many capacities. I think the stadium is a great metaphor for just like how the Glazers have run the club. And then the Indians have come in, they've made mistakes, but they don't have a lot of leash, because they just don't have enough cash to play with. When you talk about the money that is needed to both build a new stadium, clean up the debt in the first place, which is $1 billion, and then probably just do like squad turnover. That's $4 billion. I mean, that's like $4 billion, and that's not even the acquisition price. So you need someone with deep pockets. You're hearing specifics, but like you said, I thought you made a really good point, which is that there's a lot of people like to throw their name in the ring, be like, yeah, I'm interested in buying Manchester United, like the poorest billionaire in the world, that Finnish guy who keeps like throwing his name out there, but. They're talking to certain individuals that make sense. Like you definitely, I can't see Eric Cantona, like who's been political in the past, getting involved with a sovereign buying Manchester United. But I can definitely see David Beckham doing it. He was heavily involved, of course, in Qatar's World Cup. I think he was basically, the same thing there.
250 million. He's got 250 million. He can put into like whoever.
Yeah, he can put money in too. He's got dough. Yeah.
But the issue is the drag the debt puts on this club. It's like because of the debt and the transfer fees payable, like we don't have the cash flow. It's like as soon as you wipe the debt out, there's tons of cash flow to play with and go out and buy players. We have a financial advantage based on the current rules, and because of the debt, we have a disadvantage. So it's like you need someone to come in, wipe the slate clean, and then United can go again. But it's going to take $6 billion to do it, and when it comes time to write checks. Like it's hard to write a $6 billion check for this team. If you look at that stadium, like if you're from Qatar and you
look at that stadium, it's true.
And you go to a game and we play like shit, and you go to that stadium, you're like, oh no, it's hard to get to $6 billion. Like so I don't think the odds are is it will not happen, but it is encouraging that there are talks happening, and if it materializes, great. But nobody knows where this is going to fall, sir. Our next bit of news here is the worst take of the week. Comes from the Scouse Bastards at LFC official Twitter handle, and they tweeted out, I'm going to get the date here, October 14th before the match, Liverpool FC 7, Manchester United 0. This, of course, happened under Erik ten Hag, so they were sort of trolling us. They said, through the years against our next opponent, and they took a picture. I feel like Twitter handles of clubs are starting to get a little more, like, chirpy for engage. Like, I feel like they're trying to, like, this would never happen like 3 or 4 years ago. People like talking smack.
No way. Pre-COVID, no way.
The official account. This coming from their official. It's like, what the fuck are you doing? This kind of pissed me off a little bit.
Oh, that's not the worst take of the week. And I thought we were due, and there was an element of like everybody's counting United out, but also clubs. I think that also is kind of a good analogy for the whole thing that's happened with Athletic, throwing United under the bus just for engagement and arrangement at the end of the day, because like they know it sells. Lowest common denominator. They just go,
Yeah, but you tweet this and you lose. And that's what I'm trying to say. Is like you tweet this
and they lost.
You lose.
And that's the universe.
But here's what I said. Here's what I said on October 14th. How many times you win the EPL? Manchester United's won it 13 times. Liverpool's won it twice.
I know, but it's 2020, sir. It's 2020.
But I'm saying we've won the English Premier League
in the modern iteration.
13 times.
2020.
So it is a fact. The Premier League, not the first division, right? You have to Sir, winning the first division and win the Premier League, it's different. It's a different era. It's a different era, right? You would argue it's harder. 13 for United. 2 for the Scouse Bastards. Like, be honest. Like, come on. Like, let's just look at it and be like, hey, if you had 7, like, there's something there. You got 2. They should have more because of all the
City
cheating.
Sports Open. I mean, if City weren't supposed to open.
Yeah, they could have 7 with the runners-up, right? Like, totally agree. And United, we could have 14, 15. But the idea is, like, let's really be honest. Like, 500 million doesn't win you the EPL, and you only got 2. So, like, they need to, like, calm down a little bit, and you got to let them know. So, like, every little Liverpool fan out there, 7-0, ha, 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 last laugh. That's all I got to say. Last laugh.
All I got to say is 2-1. Brian Embomo, Harry Maguire, we beat you. Great win. Let them enjoy. They lost 3 in a row for the first time in 10 years. Ernie Salute, like, you could have them.
4.
4 in a row. You're right. I said 3 in the EPL the road as well.
Ernie million.
That's it, dude.
Bro, like
I think Isak's a player. They overpaid for him. I also think Isak kind of like
the guy's made of glass. He's
he's still a good guy. Relax. He muddied himself up. He made a mess of himself when he actually like pushed out to get out of Newcastle. Wirtz looks like a bluffer a mile away.
Liverpool fan over here.
I'm not a Liverpool fan. I'm just calling like I see it.
Isak?
He's a quality player.
Sir.
You don't think he's a good striker?
Okay, I'll tell you.
You don't think he's a good striker? You don't think he's a good striker? You're gonna tell. Trust me. You're gonna tell me how you feel. I have every confidence. You're gonna tell me how you feel. Tell me.
Like,
he's better than Wirtz.
He has a serious injury problem.
Without that, he's the second best striker in the league.
There's not a lot of good strikers in the league. And by the way, there is what's the distance between the best striker in the league and
it's miles.
Isak,
it's
bro?
miles.
And the idea is that like there really aren't a lot of good strikers out there. It's a problem in the game, in the modern era. It's a current game, and so he is fast. He seems like a prima donna. You look how he dealt with the situation. Tells you everything you need to know. By the way, he's injured all the time. He's soft. Trust me. Hey, let it speak. Hey, let Wirtz.
Lucky save, lucky foot save.
That's all I'm gonna
That was
say.
a great
Like,
save. What about Wirtz? Okay, let's talk shit about
Haaland.
Wirtz.
By the way, Haaland finishes that. Like, here's the thing. You got look at strikers. And
Haaland's a freak.
I think if you said Isak or Sesko, I'd take Sesko all day. But by the way, look at Yorkeresh at ours. Come on, that's not a striker.
Yorkeresh. I'm not talking about
No,
Yorkeresh.
but I'm saying like
he scored
Isak's better than Yorkeresh, but is he better than Sesko? Like, I don't know. Like
now he is. Today is. He scored over 20 EPL goals in the EPL. You know, it's like he's a top striker. Without his fitness, undoubtedly he's one of the best strikers.
Have you done it? You know what I'm talking about?
He's done it more than Jesko has to date. Obviously,
he's had a lot of injuries, and when he's available, he has an elite.
I think the personality. I think he showed something about his personality with the way he dealt with the Newcastle exit. That is not. It's not going to behoove him.
Better than Andy Carroll.
I'll tell you what. I'm glad we didn't get Yorkeresh.
Yorkeresh
does not.
I would say if you look at Liverpool strikers, like I don't think he's going to be better than Suarez.
Suarez he was also.
I'm just saying, like he's the most expensive one ever. And
what about Fabian Wirtz? Okay, Fabian Wirtz is like objectively terrible.
You don't even need to talk about it.
007. Other than why they defended 007. Like,
you don't even need to talk about Wirtz. You don't even need to talk.
I know, but we should talk about Wirtz.
Hey, having a day. Yeah, we have. Hey, it's been tough times. You can enjoy this one. Enjoy this one. All right, next one, sir. Give me the quote. Rashi throwing mud. He can't. Hey, have fun. You're doing good at Barcelona. We hope they buy you. Throwing mud now. He scores a few goals for Barca, and he thinks he needs to throw mud on the badge that is Manchester United. It just gets worse. It gets worse with Rashford all the time. Let's just keep my club out of your mouth.
I have to agree with what you're saying there. It's like a little bit of why are we even talking about Manchester United again? You're doing all right. You're having a little bit of resurgency. Jesus, you're 28 years old. It's like, come on, enjoy yourself. Go grow up. Play in Barcelona. You got your dream move.
You're welcome for the contract. You're welcome. Yeah, we're welcome for.
We're not paid. We're not paid. I'm thankfully, but at the same time, it's going well. You don't need to throw mud. So what he said was he didn't have a stable environment to be consistent of a performer at Manchester United. What about Villa? Certainly true in many regards. It was it's been calamitous over the last 11, 12 years. At the same time, Wayne Rooney chips up, our captain, all-time favorite player, and he's like basically, just because the club is inconsistent and is kind of unstable doesn't mean you don't have to work hard. Or like you could have run harder in the games.
No, he says
you can't apply yourself.
Quote, if you're not playing well or you get left out of the team, I think it's easier to blame the environment and whether that is right or wrong. I think that comes from how you apply yourself. In games we have seen with him where we know he can do more, we know he can run more, that has nothing to do with the environment.
We know he can run more. We saw it.
He's like, I like Marcus as a lad, but I think it's an easy one to throw at people. And if you look at Marcus Rashford's career and you're telling me he makes excuses, like, I'm not surprised. You know what I mean? Like going to Belfast, is that on United? Like China White Club, is that on United? New manager, going to the U.S., going to the Knicks game, is that on United? Like, I just don't, like, Amorim saying get out of town a week into his tenure, is that on United? Him going to Villa, not really, he didn't do great at Villa. He's going to the La Liga.
He didn't want to go to Villa. He didn't want to go to Villa. I mean, they wanted to probably
no one wants to buy you straight up. You're so good, but no one will pay us money for you. Like, he just ignores the signs. They're all there. Humble yourself a little bit, Rashford. Come on. Him saying inconsistent is like also fair in some regards. Like, United's been up and down, but he should have been a leader. He should have been more consistent. And it just feels like excuse making. And the fact he keeps talking about Manchester United tells you everything you need to know about. It's like, you got to move on. He's got to move on. We got to move on. I want him to do well. I want to get paid. I want the contract off the books. But the fact he keeps talking about us is just like he's trying to blame United for everything. And it's not fair. That's not fair.
He's not even incorrect. It's just that he's playing well. He's probably going to have his deal translate into a full-time deal. Why do you need to say it? You don't need to say it.
Tells
you
don't
need to make
it.
No, that's the thing. It's like you don't need to do it. There's no reason to do it if you're playing shit. And you'd be like, hey, I just have all this hangover from my years of neglect at Manchester United because they're such a bad club. That's one thing. But he's actually like doing okay. Just keep it down and trying to act like you're a humble lad. And I just think it's unnecessary. Throwing money at Manchester United. He's still academy product. It's sad. It's sad. And
by the way, Rashford, when it's all said and done, where are you going to be sitting? Are you going to be sitting in the stands of the new Camp Nou? No, you're going to be sitting at Old Trafford, and you want the fans to clap your name, and maybe he'll come back to the club. I hope he ends up coming back, but like at a different version of himself who understands the opportunity he had that he sort of squandered at Manchester United, which is heartbreaking. He should have broken Wayne Rooney's record.
He should be the captain right
He
now.
should be the
captain right now.
He should be breaking Wayne Rooney's goal record. He should be in the record books of the greatest
suck.
club
It
of
suck.
all
It suck.
time. And then he's like going to Villa. Like, is that really what's holding you back?
Barca dream move.
All right, fan questions. Let's get into them, sir. We got some spicy ones post Liverpool. At @_Cole, Amorim's best managed game. Totally agree. Question dropping Sesko. Never question playing Magoo. Casemiro's best game in months. He was everywhere. 60 minutes. We need a 6. Cunha, Sesko, and Embomo is the truth. My God, the link-up play and the 1-2s were beautiful. Delit, Magoo, Licha will destroy offenses. And Licha coming back, I think, is huge for this team.
I think from a squad perspective, we're as strong as we've been in a long, long time. We just need to keep things calm, manage the damage. Let's just keep building on this because there are players in this squad. There are players that weren't in this squad a couple years ago. Cunha, Embomo, Šeško. We need time. We just need to keep things steady.
At Randy Scrandy L, here we go. Maguire planting the ball in the net like he plans Greek police. Best thing he's done at the club. Keep the agendas put away this week. Can't be negative when you beat the Rats. Love to see it. That's the first.
Ratas.
If anyone listens to the pod, Randy Scrandy.
That's
the
positive
first
Randy.
positive tweet we've seen in years from this gentleman.
years.
So welcome back.
Welcome back, Randy. Great to see it.
At Ant6C, he's him. Harry Maguire Dino. Love the memes. At Ty Kircher, what a result. I'm in shock. So am I. At Rolling the Deep. Sirs, Maguire etches himself into the history books with that winner, kept Liverpool at bay for large parts of the game, but I still think we had some chances we shouldn't put away and put the game in doubt, but this win was special. Absolutely. At United Scores, what a game mentality. And BreadFan18, John called it.
Fucker.
2-1, let's go. 2 wins in a row, finally. As an added bonus, loser pool loses 4 in a row.
Loser pool. That's great. That's great.
Sorry, there's you know what's funny?
Can't wait to rewatch this game.
There's a shirt in the pod bunker that I had. It's from 2009, and it's Champions United. It says 3 in a row. 3 in a row.
It looks
3
great.
titles
It
in a
looks
row.
great. We did
that twice.
Twice.
We're talking about winning 2 games in a row. Do you understand where we're at? Like where
Yes,
we used
in the
to
mud.
be
We're in
and
the
where
mud.
we are? We are like literally, I'm looking at a shirt you wouldn't believe exists because we're pumped about 2 games in a row. That's what this club has done.
Did we win 3 in a row? 3 in a row.
Yeah,
I'll tell you what, we win 3 in a row.
17 years ago, dude. And like, it's like
We beat Brighton. We're getting shirts.
Sir, when we
3
wore
in a row.
that shirt, I wore
know.
that shirt. You
We were so
took it
good.
for granted.
We were so good.
So, you know
We
what?
got
Hey, I'm looking
3
at
in a
that
row.
shirt. We're going to make it 3 EPL games in a row. We'll make a shirt that says we beat
Brighton.
Sunderland, Liverpool, Brighton 3 in a row.
Yeah,
let's
see.
make it 3 in a row because it's been a hell of a decade, almost 8 years doing this podcast. And like, let's hope this is a turnaround moment. Let's hope this is like Amorim gets the lads on a run. Go on a run. Like you said it earlier, sir. It's like, go on a run. Have a go. Like, go on a run. Let's start like 6 in a row, 7 in a row, 8 unbeaten, like whatever. Let's go on a run. Like, we need something. Like, the season is still alive. European football is still alive. Come on. We need to string the results together. We need hope. And then all of a sudden, UAE buyout news early, Jan. And then
Bingo,
like,
bingo.
let's go. Like, let's go. So, you know, it's a huge week for United, and everyone enjoy it. Put the agenda away. Get the memes out. Start texting your Scouse Bastard friends and just have a ball. So that's what this is all about. This is what football's about.
Enjoy it. Bask in it. Rewatch that game. What a moment. Like you said, let's go on a run. This changes everything. We're right in the mix. We are right in the mix because the EPL is not a runaway train already. There's not some team that's already run away with it. Top 4, even top 5 is well open. So United, let's get some momentum going. Let's get a huge victory against Brighton at home. Let's show them this is our house. This is Old Trafford. You don't come up from the South Coast and look to slap us around, sir, because they've had our number. So we are due for a win. Let's get a win. Let's get 3 in a row. Let's print out the shirts. And let's go for 4 in a row and start, like you said, when's the last time we went on a run like that? It's been like when we beat
Always at
Barca.
the
When we
wheel,
beat
bro.
Barton. I
Always
mean,
at the
I know.
wheel, yeah.
Like Ayrton Hag got like a moment of hotness. Remember that? We were in title race 3 weeks. That was fun. Let's get
We
into
need
title
some
race.
juice.
Let's get into title race.
This could be the juice. If you like the podcast and you like the ups and downs, please don't forget to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Turn notifications on. Also, comment below. If you're listening on iTunes and Spotify, get over to YouTube. We have a bunch of extra content there as well. Tons of interviews we've been doing this season. Let us know if you like them. Also, check out our newsletter. It's free. You can sign up. You get email every week into your inbox with the top Manchester United stories. Again, free, Free, AmericaDevils.com/newsletter. Sign up. Also, check out our store, AmericaDevils.store. We got Patreon if you want to go the extra mile, Patreon.com/AmericaRedDevils. So give us our top 10 downloads the last 7 days.
Number one, how you doing? How you doing? Let's get into it. Los Angeles, California, Dublin, Ireland, Chicago, Illinois, Dallas, Texas, Brooklyn, New York, Oslo, Norway, New York, Melbourne, Australia, and Portland, Oregon, and last but not least, Washington, D.C. Appreciate all the American Devils listening week in, week out. Enjoy this win. It's a big 3 points. Doesn't happen all the time against our bitter rivals at Anfield. Sorry.
Never win 3 in a row. Let's go. So much significance. Ruben Amorim, can he bring the glory days back again? Let's go.
Bring the glory days again. We're working for the strength and turn the rest around.